Just take the hair collar off the display head, and that just velcros together in the back. There's two areas where you can velcro it to change the tension or the size of the neck hole. So it's pretty simple. Take that off, and then never ever grab the mask by the face. Never do that, because this is your most delicate part. It's just foam latex. Yes, the back side is backed with the spandex hood, but the front is just foam latex, and you'll tear it if you yank on it or drag it against something. It's not necessary to ever touch the face except when you're pressing it on during the application. So to take it off of the head before you get started, just go to the back, put your hand up the back side of the display head, and slide the mask up and off. That's all there is to it. So now you've got it off of the form, and you're ready to apply it to yourself or your subject. Doug is going to be our model today. So the very first thing to do once you've inventoried all of your makeup supplies and stuff, which was in the previous movie file on this disc, the next thing would be to test the glues and adhesives on your subject, whether it's you or somebody like Doug, to see if they're going to have any sort of an allergic reaction to it. So actually a good place to do this is to test an area right outside the inner arm. It's a sensitive area. It's not seen by people, so if the person does have a reaction, an allergic reaction, it's not in the middle of their face. But that's what we're going to do. So we're going to do a test with the adhesives and the foam on this part of Doug's arm right now. Okay, so the glue that we're going to be using is the Pros-Aide 2 glue, and I'll pour a little bit out in one of the plastic cups right now. And I'll take the sponge and I'll just put a little bit. This is straight out of the bottle too. I haven't diluted this or anything, so I'm just going to put a little on there. You can take a hair dryer and dry that, or just let it air dry. And then I'm going to take a piece of the extra foam off the flashing of your blender pieces. So I've just taken some of that foam latex and I'm going to stick it on there, but I'm going to dry this first. Alright, so I'm drying the glue. Because this Pros-Aide 2 works best when it's dry. It should have a stick to it. It's got a bit of a tack. So we can tell right now that the glue's not really doing anything to Doug's skin. And then I just press the piece into place. And now that piece of foam is stuck and good. Normally we'd leave that on for several hours and see if he's going to have a reaction. Let him wear it for the day or whatever. It's important because it is your skin or your actor's skin. You want to make sure that you're not going to just jump in and do an application on their face and then have them break out if they turn out to be allergic to latex. Some people have allergies to latex, and some people might have allergies to the adhesive. So that's why we test this. So now we're going to remove that and see how the removers work. Specifically for remover only brush, we don't use this brush for anything but removers. I'm going to take the Super Solve remover, which here's the actual bottle. You've got a glass bottle in yours, but that Super Solve is the remover. It's a carbohydrate based remover, so it's not an oil, although it acts like an oil. And I'm just going to get my brush up underneath an edge here, and I'm just going to remove the glue and peel the piece away. Now you can also do that with the 99% alcohol. Chances are that after you've worn your mask for the whole entire day and you've been out being a monkey for all that time, that you're going to have sweated off the adhesive, and you can peel the mask off without putting any removers on it. when removing the Deluxe prosthetic mask, I would prefer that you use only 99% alcohol to pop any area of the mask that is still attached after wearing it for your event. That way the alcohol will evaporate. You're not going to be damaging the foam, whereas oil-based removers or even the Super Solve leave a residue and might over time deteriorate your foam. So it's best, if you're still glued into your mask at the end of the day, to use 99% alcohol to break whatever seal there still is. Alright, the next up we would put some lotion on this. Do a little soap and water. In this case, I'm just using a baby wipe in lieu of soap and water to clean the rest off of his skin. And then we'll just put a little lotion on that to bring some moisture back in, because the carbohydrate remover tends to dry the skin out a little bit. But that's great, and as you can see, Doug didn't have any allergic reaction to the foam or the glue, so now we're set to do him up as the full-blown makeup. So the next step in the transformation of man to ape is the black tooth enamel. Ta-da! Which basically is a liquid wax that's used to black out the person's teeth. And this is how it's done. You get your subject to smile big. We don't want the lips touching the teeth at all, so you're going to make a big grimace. It helps to have a hair dryer, so we'll put it on a warm setting, and we'll have the actor hold I think there's a cool setting on this. If it gets too hot, you can press that. Take a tissue, Kleenex tissue, and wipe the saliva off the teeth, because the wax won't stick to the teeth if there's any saliva on it. Then you just generously get in there and paint out the teeth. The drier you get your teeth prior to painting the tooth enamel on, the better. And there you go. That's the first part. Smile for the camera, Doug. Little toothless Doug right there. Alright, the next process would be blacking out the area around the eyes and the mouth. So we take your aqua color, your aqua color makeup. In this case, we're going to be using black. And I got a little bit of spritzer water to spritz it. And then we go around the lips. As well as the eyes. Close your eyes. And look straight up. Close your eyes. And I'm just using a makeup wedge for this part. And look straight up again. I'm just using the sponge and I'm getting up as close to the lid as I can. And close again. So I blacked out around that area. Now we're ready for glue. Now the next step is the glue process. I'm going to take the surgical adhesive, which is the clear glue that's in your kit. This is just a larger bottle of DeLuxe 5, and I'm going to mat out his eyebrows. You can use the Prosthetic 2 for that as well, but it's a little bit more difficult to get out of hair than DeLuxe's. So I'm going to brush the clear silicone surgical glue into his eyebrow. Same principle would apply if you had a mustache or a goatee or a soul patch. You want to flatten that hair out. So, just working it in the direction of the hair growth as it grows. It just wants to naturally lay down flat. And once the glue dries, which is a matter of moments, take a little bit of powder. And just press it down with some powder. This would also be a good opportunity to go and powder the entire area of black that you did with the makeup to set it. Rock color is a water-based pancake that has glycerin in it, so it doesn't really need powdering, but by putting some powder on it at this stage, you're sealing the makeup, and it'll stay put a little bit longer. It won't start rolling up or sweating off until you really start doing something strenuous. Okay, so I brushed Doug's hair out of the way. Now I'm coming back in with the Prosthetic 2, and I'm going to paint it all over the area that I know is going to take the glue for the mask. Also, Prosthetic 2 is pretty strong glue. If you're not a sweater, if you don't sweat a lot, you can dilute it. So I've got that much Prosthetic 2 in the cup right now. That much. And I'm just going to cut it maybe 30% with some water. And we'll see how good it sticks. Some people, like our Dr. Zira, I have to dilute her Prosthetic to 75% with water when we do her makeup. She doesn't sweat at all, and it takes forever to get her out at the end of the day. The gorillas, on the other hand, we go full strength because they're wearing so much leather, and they're doing much more physical stuff when we do our shows. Alright, so now I'm just taking the Prosthetic 2 and I'm going over all the exposed skin where I know I'm going to want the mask to stay glued down to. And that includes going over the glued eyebrow area that we just did and inside the eye socket, because we're going to want those blend edges to lay down nicely right around the eyes. So I'm going up over that makeup that I laid down the bridge of the nose. It's not necessary really to put glue underneath the nose because your mask is channeled for breathing in those areas, and you're going to sweat it off your upper lip anyway. You can do it if you want. Experiment, find out what's most comfortable for you. Just make sure you get a good amount on all of the exposed skin. And again, we've already tested the glues on Doug, so we know that he's not allergic to it. Get good coverage. And then we're going to dry this. He is dry. I'm going to put a little bit across the upper lip. That more than likely from breathing and exhaling and talking and drinking or whatever during the day, this will unglue. And you can come back with the clear surgical adhesive and a brush and get up underneath the palate of the mouth and tack that back down, and it'll hold good. Same thing with the chin. You can get in with the surgical adhesive, tack that back down during the day. So this is going to get dried with a hairdryer, and then we'll be ready to actually put the mask on. Here we go. Alright, we are ready to put the mask on. The glue's been put on. He's dry. He's sticky. We're ready to go. I just actually lifted off a section of glue there. Anyway, so we've already showed you how to take the mask off. The way this is done is we're going to start in front and pull the mask up and over the head, but we're never going to grab the face. That's a big rule. I'll keep drilling it into your head. So I'll have Doug hold the hood at the bottom, and the idea is that we're going to pull this up and over, and you're going to pull the mask away from your face so that it's hovering out in front until I get the whole hood on, and then we'll place it and press it into place. So here we go. So go ahead and pull it down and over and line up your eyes as you go. For people with hair, you want to be careful not to pull your bangs down in front of your eye holes. And hopefully he didn't do that. Let me cross check. Alright, so he's got it on, but he's holding it out away from his face at this point. Now, I'm going to line it up. You'd be doing this in the mirror yourself. You can relax now. Let it go. Open your mouth slightly. And we're just going to kind of center this thing. And I'm going to go right above, in between your eyes, and push that down first. Close your eyes for a sec. And then I'm going to go up inside with my finger and push the eye socket down into place. Now this mask here has very narrow eyes because it's made for sunny. So I'm going to actually lift that, because you can do that. With the prosthetic 2, you can lift and re-stick. So I'm going to move that section of the mask back a little bit. And the same on this side. So that it's not, the corner of the eye isn't impeding his ability to open his eyes. Alright, now I'm pressing the brow into place. And I'm just going to stretch the mask down a little bit farther on his face. Chin up for me, please. And then I'm going to press the bridge down. And the sides around his nose and his cheeks. And then open your mouth. And close your... Let's see. There we go. That's what I want. I'm going to actually put the lip of the mask right on his lip. And then I'm going to press. So now when he opens and closes his mouth, it opens and closes with him. I'll zoom in a little bit. But it won't let me in record mode, so I'm walking it in. So give me a range of expression there. Just squish it around, smile, yell at me, rah. Maybe give me an angry brow. Yeah. So you can see that you get quite a lot of movement there. And it took all of 40 seconds to stick on. Alright, then we'd come in here. If we didn't get enough glue in here, you can come back in and maybe paint more Prosthete 2 in those areas, or the surgical adhesive for that matter. But and then you'd come in and blend off all of this with your makeup to make it all match in, and maybe even go in with more black around the lids. But at that point, we'd throw the hair collar on, which we'll do right now, and run a comb through his very unruly hair. Chin up. And with that, he'd already be in costume, but finished suiting up and go rock and roll. So that's the application process, minus makeup touch-ups and all that. That much you can figure out on your own. It's pretty darn simple. So you say, Marcus?
Yes.
Talk to me. Now remember, when you're in the makeup, to over-exaggerate your movements, because people are going to want to see that. You don't have to look like you're falling asleep, but when you do stuff with your face. Squint a lot, scrunch your nose when you talk to people, and show them that this is a living, breathing character as opposed to a pullover mask. So there you go. Now we're going to go through the process of removal. Alright, we've just simulated a full day's use of Doug being in this makeup by making him run 3 times around the block. So he's all tired and sweaty and all that. And in theory, he should have sweated a lot of the adhesive away. So again, never pulling on the face of the mask. You reach up underneath and stretch the hood. And if he has sweat, the mask will just peel away from the skin. If you had to go in and use surgical adhesive around the eyes or the corners of the mouth, it might take a little bit of work. But you saw how simple and how easy that was to remove right then and there. Go inside, use some, like, I don't know what they have in England, but you'd spray a disinfectant spray like Lysol or N-Bac inside this and powder it in case there is a little bit of glue residue still inside it. You can always clean the inside out with a little 99% alcohol. You saw I didn't use any remover on that, so there's nothing attacking the foam of the mask right now. Again, if we needed to release something around the eyes or the mouth or the lips from re-gluing it with a stronger glue during the day, 99% alcohol to take it off. So now this gets powdered and put back on the display head, and we'll show you how that's done. So cleanup time. Going to remove the glue from Doug's face here. I'm take a puff because I've got one, but you can use a face cloth or a rag, and just get the Super Solve on it. And keep working it until the glue comes off the skin. Pretty straightforward. I'll continue to clean the glue off Doug, and then we'll come back for the skin treatment. Alright, I've successfully removed all the makeup, all the adhesive from Doug's skin, so there's no more glue left on his skin now. And I've rubbed a little foaming face wash cleanser on it, and I'm going to send him over to the sink to wash the rest down, soap and water. And then when we're done, he'll be able to smile for the camera. He's still got his teeth on, so close your eye. You can take the tooth enamel off with 99% alcohol, or just a toothbrush and toothpaste will take the tooth enamel off. So once he's done washing up with soap and water, cleaning his teeth off, then we'll just do a moisturizer on his skin, and he's done. That's the end of the day. So thank you for your help, Doug.
You're welcome.
And we'll get some lunch when your teeth are presentable.
Cool.
Alright, so now I'm taking some N-Bac, made by Johnson & Johnson. It's a disinfectant spray that we use in the wardrobe industry as well as the makeup industry. And I'm just going to spray the inside of the mask with it. I've already stripped the inside with alcohol and cleaned any glue residue off. And this will just keep the mask fresh, kills any germs and stuff from sweating in it all day. Let that dry out or force it with the hair dryer, and then put it back on its head. Okay, so I disinfected and sprayed. I sprayed the disinfectant spray in. I've powdered it so it's dry in here. Also dried it with a hair dryer. And now I'm just going to put it right back on its display bust. So again, never pulling or pushing on the face. I'm just going to put it up on the head and pull on the spandex, and then just kind of position it in place. And it's ready for the next, it's ready to stick on your shelf for display, or you throw your hair collar back on it as well. Off on the display shelf it goes. Until next time.